Hello, good afternoon, this is Diecast Luna. Hope you're all doing well. And in a minute we're going to take a look at matchbox, vintage matchbox, Capri that I picked up this morning. And then after that we're just going to look over some of the cars, some of my favourite vintage finds over the last sort of few months really. And it's quite difficult because I've got so many vintage matchbox now that I've been picking up. But I'm not showing too much because it's either been stuff that's been shown a few times before, or recently should I say, so that levels off a few of them, or it's stuff that I've bought on eBay, because I buy quite a lot of cars on eBay, and quite a few out in the wild, so to speak. But anyway, the cars we'll be looking at in a minute will be ones that I've found either in second-hand sort of junk stores, second-hand shops, or they've been bought off of people that have just had them in the lofts for a long time. Anyway, let's get into the car in question. So let's just pan the camera down a little bit. It's not them, so we'll just move them out of the way a minute, because just out of the way, that's a bit better. And this is the car. I've cut the camera down too far. So it is number 72 Maxi Taxi, which is pretty cool. I had one very similar to this when I was a kid, so that's part of the reason why I picked it up. But anyway, it has been opened partially, so it makes it easy to get out. So we'll just take a close look at the car. And there it is. So the Maxi Taxi was part of the Rollermatics range, I believe. Which, as anybody knows that's into Matchbox, the Rollermatics are when you obviously move. So this one's got the engine goes up and down, but because the car is in such good condition, it's like all things, it's a little bit stiff. But anyway, so this is part of the Rollermatics range. Now these were produced, this particular car was produced, I do believe, from 1982 to about 1983. It does say, however, interestingly enough, on the box that this is a 1980 Lesney product. Maybe there's something that stands for Corp. But yeah, if you look at the bottom of the car, it says number 72 Maxi Taxi, made in Hong Kong. So I think myself personally that this must be as Lesney came to an end, which I do believe was done by about 82, 83. This is one of the cars that came under that when it got bought by, I think it was Universal Toys. I might be wrong, I'm not an expert by any means, so please leave a comment if I'm wrong, but I do think that is what this is. The actual casting was, the copyright was 1973. And I do believe this car was a carryover or a repaint, whatever you want to call it, of the Hot Rocker, which you had in different colours. But I think this came from the Hot Rocker, I believe. But anyway, it is very, very cool and in very, very nice condition, because the chap that I bought this from, this was. Now, I'm not sure if this was in his own collection or if this was a car from his uncle. I'm not quite sure. But whatever, this has been stored in the loft pretty much since it was new. Like he said, it had been opened and looked at, but it's not been played with. And it is, as you can see, in very nice condition. The engine is in very nice condition. The chrome work, the wheels, it is very, very nice. And like I said, I'm not a massive expert on these, I'm learning, but it doesn't look like it's been tampered with to my untrained eye. But it is very, very nice nonetheless. And it is nice to see these cars, because at the end of the day, you know, the copyright says 1980 on it, but let's assume it's from, say, you know, anywhere from 80 to 83. This is an old car, you know, it's getting there. It's over 40-year-old. But very, very cool. And they did a very good job on the engine on this. I mean, the camera, the light is throwing it off, but I know it's just quite a silly oversized V8 engine, but it has got all the pulleys and it is done very, very well. But anyway, so that's today's find, and like I said, I'm very pleased. And the chap that I got off is a nice man, and he's going to try and find out, because like I said, he has got some other cars, and he's going to look to see, because I'm after another Capri at the minute, orange with a black bonnet. So he's going to see if he's got one of them, because he can't remember, because I used to have one of them as a kid. So at the moment I'm on a bit of a let's buy the cars from when you were a child. So anyway, so that's today's find, or today's purchase, should I say. And then I'm just going to quickly breeze through, so just bring the camera up a little bit more again. Some of the cars that I especially enjoyed picking up, that I thought were good for the money. So as you've seen, this is one from the other day, so I won't spend too long in it, but that was one that was for 50p from a junk store, second-hand shop. And like I said, it's in very, very good condition for something that has been played with. But nonetheless, it's still very good. And like I said, I really like this in the black. So that's obviously the Porsche 944. And that's from the Macau years. And then we got, obviously, like I said, this is one from a few weeks ago. So this is the Ferrari F40 that, again, this came in a job lot of old beaten up cars. But in amongst the beaten up cars, there was a few little treasures. Because I quite often buy beaten up cars so I can repaint or use for spares. But this is very cool. And I had one of these as well. I do believe I was at secondary school by the time this came out. But I've always collected cars anyway, so I did have one of these. But again, in very nice condition for something that's been played with. So that's the F40. And then we got, again, seen this a while back. So this is a little Ford truck from the Super Kings range. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the trailer. I am going to be making a trailer or adapting a trailer for it at some point. But again, this was only like I think I paid £1 for this. Got a satisfying snap when it clicks shut. But again, in remarkably good condition for something that's been played with. It's got some writing up there that I can't make out on through the camera. And then something we've, again, from a while back, this little Lincoln Continental, I think it's from 1963, the Lincoln that it's supposed to be taken after. But again, in great condition for something that's from, well, I would have thought at least 1970. But in very, very nice condition. Boot still opens nice. Has got the super fast wheels, because they did do another version of this. Quite a few versions in different colours. I think they did a gold of this. I think they did like a weird pale blue. But they did do it with the original wheels, and this is obviously the super fast version. But again, rolls really nice. Suspension still works on it quite nice. But that's another one that I picked up for not a lot of money. I think it was £3 or £4. And again, that was from a junk store. And then this is one I've shown again. That little Renault 5 with the black wheel dot dash variant wheels. And this one's more unusual because of the plain black wheels with the silver base. I do believe that most of these had black bases and chromed wheels. But again, I had this. I didn't have it in this colour, but I did have this car. When I went to buy this, I purposely went for it in this different sort of variation because I thought it looked cool. And actual fact, this came from the same seller or same person that I got the Maxi Taxi from. Again, in very, very nice condition. Well, as well, basically new condition for a car that was, again, probably late 70s, 80, but very cool. And then we'll speed through them a little bit. So we got this unusual orange, I think it's called a Tanza. Not quite sure how you pronounce that. But very, very cool. Again, this is another second-hand shop. Didn't pay much more than a couple of pounds for it. It looks like it's hardly been played with. It's what I like to call toy box wars. It's been beaten about a little bit from being in a toy box, which is unfortunate. But again, I had one of these as a child, and that's why I like it. But it's pretty cool, and it's in not bad condition at all. The windows are nice, and obviously it's got the opening feature at the back. And then this one, I got two of these, actual fact. I got one I did buy online that's in a lot better condition. And then I got this one that again is another, I forget what I paid for it, but it's not a lot. And this is another one from a, I think this was a car boot sale, but it wasn't much. Obviously with the opening clam on the front. This is a 57 Chevy. I'm just looking on the bottom. Just 57 Chevy. But again, very cool. And again, I had this in this same colour. Very cool. Ooh, and then we got these two that I got in a bag with some other broken cars. I do believe, I think this one is, got to try and think what it's made after now. Maserati, possibly Bora, I think. And this is when Matchbox was going through what we like to call the cheaper stage. So it's just got dark, blacked out windows and no interior. They were going for a cheaper stage. But again, it's from 85, copyright. Still rolls nice, suspension's great. And I actually have, this is one I got from a bag not all that long ago. I think I've shown this before. And this is the earlier Superfast version. So it's, as we look, Matchbox Superfast, Maserati Bora. But this is what that would have came from. But obviously this one has opening doors. And again, this one's very play worn, but I just like it. There's something about it I like. So this one's going to get left alone. But that's basically the same casting, just when Matchbox had obviously changed into a different part ownership and was going through like a cheaper stage. And then there's this, I think this is just called a Super GT, I think. I'm not quite sure what this car is supposed to be based on. I think it's just a generic sort of casting, but it's pretty cool. So it is, look, 85, made in England, just, yeah, Super GT. But anyway, that came with that one there, in like I said, in a bag of cars. And then the last one is this little green Mark 1 Golf, which would have had surfboards, I believe, at one point on top. But again, this was another one that I got in a charity shop for, I think, a few quid. Wasn't much, but is in very, very good condition for a car that's been, again, played well, played warm, but in nice condition. And it says Matchbox Superfast Volkswagen Golf, made in England, 1976, copyright Lesney Products. Anyway, so there's some of my favourite cars that I've picked up either in second-hand shops or bought from people's lofts, so to speak. And like I said, I had a lot more, but I didn't want to pull out cars that I've shown too much or they've been bought on eBay. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'll just show it again. And we all seen that the other day. So it does show that there is Matchbox out there that's still in very good condition, whether it's play worn or it is still blistered. And they are out there. And I'm going to continue collecting them because, like I said, I'm going on a bit of a sort of blast from the past, picking up cars that I had in my childhood. But anyway, please like and subscribe, or share, like and subscribe. And I've got, like I said, I have got other stuff. I've still got the restoration to finish off. I've just got to get some more paint to finish it. And I've got some other cars that I'm waiting on in the post, to turn up in the post. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.